Welcome along, everybody, to Miami. My name is Jack. I'm your commentator, and we are back once again now in Miami for the Miami Grand Prix here in WRC. 18 minutes of qualifying, followed by our standard 50% race. And this is going to be an incredible stream. 22 drivers on the track. We've got Solar, Noah, Jay, Brands. We've got CB in the chat, Scooters in the chat as well, Albon Lover, we've got Edvin, we've got QZRT, we've got Paddy, we've got Sander, Marley in the TikTok chat as well. Welcome in, everybody, and good evening as we can get underway here in Miami. Sander is the first man out on track then, and will be the first man to try and set a competitive lap time. Obviously, you can have things like invalidations and crashes that may stop that happening. But Sander, the first man out on track. Welcome in, everybody. Hope you're all having a good evening. And I'm sure this Miami race is going to make your evening much, much better. The Red Bull makes its way through the middle sector. Marley saying, Jack, which driver in WRC do you think is the best at Miami? Good question. I would have had to say that's on track right now. I would probably go with someone like TMS Milk, Sander, or BP Ace. But I'm sure we could have a little bit of a shock. Milk hasn't raced much in WRC recently, but is racing once again, and good to see him back. And this, I'm sure, going to be a very competitive session. Zayzuk, however you pronounce your name, I'm sorry, I have absolutely butchered that. Saying, what about Sean? Sean also very quick. Haven't seen him drive Miami, though. That is why I didn't put his name in that list. Albon Lover saying Sean will win. We will definitely see about that. Marley saying, is there a 10 o'clock race or am I dreaming? There is, in fact, a 10 o'clock race at Monaco. I will not be on commentary for that. I'm not sure if that will be streamed. We are trying to find another commentator as we speak to be able to stream that race. As Sander does invalidate his lap then. So it will be Sean that sets the first lap of this session. Dr. Ducky in the chat as well. As Sean then makes his way through the middle sector. The Audi driver, little scrape of the wall. Zay saying, can I commentate? Type an exclamation mark Discord, Zay. And join the server. Let them know that you want to be a commentator. We will need to see proof of your previous commentary experience, if possible. If you can provide like a video or something like that. Maybe a stream of your previous commentary work. And we will see if we can get you involved. Jay saying, did you read my message near the top, JP? I didn't. I didn't get a chance to look at it, Jay. What did you say? We got Damon back in the chat. Good evening, Damon. Welcome in. Sean goes to the top then with a 27.7. Luke takes that off of him with a 27.0. Luke has been practicing for this race. Half a second clear of Blake, who has now gone into second. Many people setting laps. TMS Milk on his outlap. As Kian gets a 5-place grid penalty for a collision with Milk. We didn't see the collision. We saw Milk off the road. But Kian, not a great start for him. Edvin saying, do you know what tracks we are racing tomorrow, JP? They haven't been announced yet. They will be announced either tonight or tomorrow morning before the 10 a.m. race. It might be decided by a spin wheel on track. I'm not sure. As one of the Ferraris there, it was Blake that has now got a 5-place grid penalty for a collision with Milk. So that's 2 people with 5-place grid penalties for collisions with Milk. Blake, I don't know, maybe trying to mess with Milk or something, put him off his game. Milk still on his outlap. Luckily, doesn't have... I don't know why I said it like that. Doesn't have any damage. What is going on with everyone hitting Milk in this session? Ollie Football currently on provisional pole with a 1 minute 26.3. Can Milk try and compete with that? Ferrari driver making his way to the end of his outlap now. Jay saying, don't forget Blake's birthday shout out, JP. Ian saying Milk's fault for our contact. So Milk makes his way onto his lap then. And let's watch this lap from the Ferrari. I've just touted him as one of the big hitters. He better prove me right. Otherwise, I'm going to look a real idiot here. As TMS Milk then embarks on his first lap in this qualifying session. Milk against the world. Jay, what was your message near the top, my friend? I wasn't able to read that, but if you resend it in, I will take a look at it. Is Milk through the first sector then? What is the first sector split going to be? It's a 29.843 for the Ferrari driver, burning the battery. Jacob saying, when do spots open for 10 PM tomorrow? It will be at 11 PM UK time. As BP Ace now goes to the top then with a 1 minute 26.1. We know Milk and BP Ace have had some good fights in previous races in WRC, especially in the championship events. Noah says he was talking about doing comms. Honestly, you would have to ask either Ollie or Mikey about that. That's not my decision to make. Is Milk coming towards the final corner then? A little bit of wheel spin at the rear end for Milk. Where is this lap going to put the Ferrari driver? He crosses the line. It's only P4 for TMS Milk. Solar saying his PB is a 25.5. So Solar would be massively clear if he were racing, but unfortunately Solar not with us in this event. Damon saying, JP, forgot to say in Discord, even had the boss F1 Mikey boy add me. Brilliant stuff, Damon. Jay saying, just saying, because you're doing, what, 5 a day now? No, I'm not doing 5 a day. My aim is to do 4 a day, 5 on some. That would be my preference. It's only because Jack Crossley's on holiday at the moment, so obviously I'm having to cover for quite a lot of what he would normally do. So, yeah. I mean, end of the day, I enjoy doing the commentary. I want to do it as much as possible. I would honestly do it all day, every day, if I could. But it is mainly for the sanity of my voice. Because, I mean, even now, I've been commentating non-stop since 2 o'clock. And I did a race earlier as well at 10 in the morning. So I did 10 till about 11:30. Then picked up at 2. And I've been doing it non-stop. And we are now at 9:20. I will go non-stop till about 9:30. And definitely feeling the effects of it. But at the end of the day, I do enjoy it. I enjoy it massively. Definitely a big passion of mine. And yeah, I want to do it as much as possible. So we will see what the future holds. We are sorting out the rota for the commentary tonight for this coming week. And in the coming week, we are going to sort it out for when Season 5 begins with all the days and whatnot that we're going to be racing and the social races that we'll be doing. So all of that could be sorted by the end of this week. And I'll be able to tell you exactly when I am and aren't commentating. Jay saying, like, yeah, I could do one of them in between to give you a little voice break. Again, have a word with Ollie or with Mikey and ask them. We have got quite a few commentators. Obviously, me and Jack are normally the main ones, let's say. But we've got Garrison, we've got Meloon, we've obviously got Daikon that does the Thursdays at 8 p.m. So we've still got plenty of commentators. It is more just, you know, let's say Jack's away or unavailable to do it. I'm away or unavailable to do it. Then it's nice to have backup people in the background that are able to do it as well. So yeah, again, speak to Ollie, speak to Mikey, and see what they tell you. It's not my decision. I don't run the commentary division, let's say. It is, of course, all done by Ollie and Mikey. Ollie Football on his latest lap goes a 10th and a half quicker, still in P2. Sander now crosses the line with a 25.8 and goes to provisional pole. Sean on his outlap. We've got Milk on his outlap. BP Ace on his outlap too. Luke has invalidated. Blake has also invalidated. MCL is on a lap and is using the battery. Might get a little held up here. Had to dive out of the way of the Williams that was weaving. Is into the braking zone with the Mercedes man, MCL. Been here since day dot for WRC. Now coming through the final couple of corners to try to prove himself. He goes into P6 with a 1 minute 26.9. Good lap from MCL. I see a few people in the chat asking how to join. I will send in our website link to the TikTok chat if you are interested in joining. Paste that into your favorite web browser, whether it's I don't know, Google Chrome. I know some people use Opera. If you're one of them weirdos that uses Firefox, whatever web browser that it may be, chuck it in, get yourself in the website, sign in with your Discord, and you will be able to get involved in the action. BP Ace on his most recent lap. TMS Milk has just gone on to his. BP Ace is improving, but is it going to be enough to try and take down Sander? To the end of the middle sector comes BP Ace then, 2.5 tenths up, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough to beat Sander. As BP Ace comes through the final corner then, the V-Carb man making his way towards the line. BP Ace, does he go to provisional pole? No, he doesn't. He can't get into the 1 minute 25s. What about Milk then, who is also 2 tenths up, but is further behind than BP Ace was? Needs a lightning final sector if he is to improve. The Ferrari driver into the final corner. TMS Milk needs a lap here and he's nearly spun out of the final corner. Comes into the pit lane. And TMS Milk struggling in this qualifying session. CB is on a lap as well. Best Noah saying, JP, this is your job now. What happens if it, in 2 weeks, when there's only 2 races a day? Well, we will be doing social races. Once again, Noah, obviously there is a massive demand. We'll try and get as many full-time drivers as possible in seats and in lineups and whatnot and things like that. And that will be the sort of 2 race a day thing. But there will still be social events as well. There will still be different community events. We're looking at doing a potential marathon, which I won't give too much information away on. But there may be a WRC, or by the time it happens, an MOR marathon that will be happening. Possibly towards the end of this month. So I'll be quite cryptic and keep my cards close to my chest. But that should be a very cool event that you can all expect towards the end of the month. A little MOR marathon for you. Details will be released about that in the coming weeks, I would imagine. 3 minutes and 20 seconds of qualifying left in this session then. Sander currently on provisional pole. BP Ace in second with Ollie Football in third. Jay saying, JP, what's up? Podium at WRC on lock. Jay, that's on the podium just about half an hour ago. Or, well, about an hour ago now. In the premium only event at Zandvoort. Great stuff from Jay. Ollie's saying 2 races a day. Going to be more than that. Exactly that. We're just going to ride the wave as long as possible, realistically. As long as drivers want races, we're going to give them races. Put it that way. As long as there is the attendance and the drive for it, and as long as we can do it, we're going to give people as many races as we can. Sean Cox then, on his final lap, through the middle sector, comes the Audi driver. Few tugs at the wheel to try and get it turned in properly. 3/10 up then is the Audi driver. MN7 saying, am I dreaming or have I just found my new favourite commentator? Thank you very much, and MN7. I do really appreciate that, my friend. Glad you are enjoying the action. Ollie is on a 25 stream streak. Jesus, Ollie. Should be more than that. Come on now. As Sean goes up to P4 then, ahead of TMS Milk. Sander is doing 2 outlaps in this session. So who's going to set their lap first then? It looks like it's going to be TMS Milk. As Scooters is on a 40 stream streak for watching WRC. Scooters, you are the man. That is crazy stuff. 40 streams. Absolutely mental. As TMS Milk then comes through the first sector, avoids the invalidation that everyone seems to get around this Miami Autodrome track. TMS Milk through the first sector, 2.5 tenths up then. The Ferrari is flying. The prancing horse is prancing onwards. But is it prancing towards a pole position lap? He makes his way into the middle sector. Left-hander comes up first. Keep it to the left-hand side as you now come in to the very long right-hander into what everyone calls the Mickey Mouse chicane. Keep the car over the curbs. Do not invalidate now. Get the power down. Get the boost on. The straight line mode opened. Duck into the slipstream of the car ahead of you. And pray that your car is quick enough. 1 braking zone to go then. Choose the braking point. He hits the brakes now. Turn the car in. Pray that it sticks with you on the exit. Open up the boost. And drive for the line. TMS Milk across the line then. Only P4 for TMS Milk. So what about Sander then? What about BP Ace? What about Ollie Football? BP Ace will be the first to cut the beam as he makes his way towards the middle sector then. BP Ace, this is his last lap. Qualifying is now done. Jono goes into 10th place for Alpine. Here comes BP Ace then. He is down on his previous best. Needs the best middle sector ever seen at this track if he wants to try and take pole position. Hits the brakes just before the 100 meter board. Gets it turned in a little bit wide through the final corner. Is that going to cost him time? The V-Carb drives for the line. BP Ace cuts the beam. It's not pole position. So what about Ollie Football then? As he comes across the line, he can't do it either. So Sander surely going to be on pole position, and he is still improving. The Red Bull driver flicks the car into the final corner. As here comes Sander then. Round the final corner he comes. He improves to a 25.7. Sander surely on pole position. Blake is in the wall at the final corner. A few things are guaranteed in life. Death, taxes, and Blake bottling it. Spadang has hit the wall out of the final corner and stays in 12th. Apix invalidated. TTV Kian's invalidated. Tomo Lad crosses the line and goes 19th. It is Sander on pole position then for the Miami Grand Prix. The only man into the 1 minute 25s. It is BP Ace that will line up in second. He splits the Red Bulls. It's an all Red Bull family top three with Ollie Football in fourth place. Or in third place, sorry. Milk will line up in fourth. And there were days where we thought in WRC TMS Milk could never be stopped. I never thought I would see the day where TMS Milk would be 6/10 off of pole position. It's Sander that takes pole position. Then we have got a brilliant Miami Grand Prix coming up for you, ladies and gentlemen. The Grand Prix is up next. Welcome back to the action in Miami then, and we can get underway for the Miami Grand Prix formation lap. Strategy looking very, very split here. We got Tomo on the soft compound tyres, hard compound tyres for half the grid, and then mediums for the rest. It's Sander on pole position, BP Ace on the hard compound tyres in second, Ollie in third, also on the medium compound tyres. Hello, Freeze. Hello, Lily. Welcome into the TikTok stream. You join us for the 8 p.m. race around Miami. The two Red Bulls very close to each other on this formation. Like BP Ace, I believe, is disconnected. And that is going to provide him with a horrible start to this race. Good evening to Lover of Disney. Welcome in to the Twitch chat. Zen saying, can you invite me back? I got kicked after quali. My race is ruined now. I got way too much fuel. We will get BP Ace back in the session. Where is BP Ace? You're not online, BP Ace. Let me know when you are online. Dr. Ducky saying, brands for the win. Lily saying, need to drink lots and lots after you're done. I'm doing all right, but I would definitely be struggling as BP Ace is back in the lobby then, as is NUFC Tilly. M in the chat as well. Welcome in, M. Good to see you. As we are on the formation lap then of this race. Lily saying a hot drink might be good afterwards. I think if I had a hot drink, I would sweat to death, to be completely honest. I'm sweating from places I didn't even know I could sweat from. Constant commentary since 2 o'clock. Definitely not for the faint of heart. As Sander then will line up on pole position. We've got a group of cars at the back here that do not want to get on with this formation lap. M saying autocross was crazy. Very glad you enjoyed it, M. Hope it was a good day for you. Sander lines up on pole position then. BP Ace in second with Ollie in third. TMS Milk fourth. MCL gets disqualified for an illegal parking position. Sean is sixth with Gervin seventh. CB will line up 8th place. As everyone gets on the grid then, and all that is left to do is wait for the 5 red lights to the start of this Grand Prix. The engines roar to life then here in Miami as the lights go out and we can get racing for the Miami Grand Prix. Sander with a good start from pole position will clearly lead into turn one. Ollie Football up into second place as BPA's is spun round and into the barriers. The V-Carb driver sent into the wall and with big front wing damage. TMS Milk was the man that put him there. He currently runs in third place. Sean is fourth with MCL in fifth as BPA's retires on track from the session. MUFC Harvey making a move up to seventh in the Cadillac, battling away with Spadang in eighth place, but out in front, Sander with the perfect start. Ollie in second place. And the two Red Bulls, 1 and 2 here in Miami then. Milk is third. Sean right behind him. And I believe there's been contact there because Milk has gone very, very deep. And when he rejoins the track, Milk is in fifth place. Sean up to third. MCL up to fourth. We're expecting a two-stop strategy in this race as there's a yellow flag at the back. And Tomo is in the barriers. Has avoided getting any front wing damage, but now down to 21st place. Zen saying Ollie Football is the worst wheel-to-wheel racer on the grid. He's so dirty. It wasn't Ollie that hit you, Zen. It was TMS Milk that rear-ended you out of turn one. As we move on to lap 2 then. Sander leads the Miami Grand Prix. Ollie Football in second place. MCL is third with Sean in fourth. TMS Milk running fifth after his wide moment in the middle sector, looking to try and get back on tabs with the Audi and the Mercedes ahead. Zen saying, yeah, it was he squeezed me onto the curb, turn one, so I had wheel spin, which caused me to get hit. He's so dirty. Silverstone was bad. This was bad. BPAce, if you are wanting to report that, definitely report it to the stewards. Make a ticket, my friend. Make sure you've clipped it. There's no point in talking bad about other drivers if you're not at least going to do something about it, if that makes sense. Kiki in the chat as well. Welcoming Kiki to the Twitch chat. We've got Sander leading Ollie, then MCL leading Sean. Milk in fifth place on the hard compound tyres. Under pressure from Gerv on the mediums. The Alpine challenging the Ferrari out in front. Ollie Football is gaining on Sander then. Towards the final couple of corners we go. Down the back straight. Ollie just not close enough to be able to make a move on his teammate. And MCL was very close there to falling out of the overtake boost. And has done. So MCL has set the fastest lap of the race. But will not be getting the overtake boost from Ollie or Sander. And that is going to be big in this race because the top two, the two Red Bulls, will just fly away from the rest of the grid if MCL can't keep tabs with them. Sean in fourth. It's Milk who's falling behind in fifth place. Gerv in sixth. And it's all over the back of the Ferrari. It's then a 3-second gap back to Luke. Blake currently in eighth for Ferrari. As Ollie, is he gaining enough on Sander to try and make a move? Doesn't look like it at the moment. Cohen saying this is our favourite commentator ever, chat. Thank you very much, Cohen, for the kind words. I do appreciate it. A lot of fans of Brands in the chat. He's currently sat in 14th place, looking to make a move on TTV. Kian round the outside as Ollie Football is out of the race. And is that a crash for Ollie Football? Yes, it is. He's gone into the barriers and is out of the race. Somehow, that is not a safety car deployed. As Kian stayed ahead of Brands, Ollie Football is out of this race. And that leaves Sander to lead the Miami Grand Prix by 1.5 seconds. But the gap is coming down. MCL is gaining. Sean is in third. Milk running fourth. Is Sean looking for a move? No, he's not. He will stay behind the Mercedes-Benz for the time being. Ethan saying commentator genuinely better than some professionals. I do appreciate that, Ethan. Thank you very much for the kind words. Is AERT Sander. I cannot say that for the life of me. leads this race then by 1.2 seconds. MCL, the big dog, the veteran of WRC, looking to prove that the new guys can't just come in and take away everything that he helped build. Sean is in third and is gaining towards the back of the Mercedes-Benz. Is the Audi looking down the inside? He definitely thought about it for a moment. Decided he is not going for it at this moment. The Audi driver slips in behind. MCL gaining the battery back as well as we make our way down the back straight then. Sander pulls out of the slipstream. MCL is gaining on Sander and will be back in the overtake boost as we go down the back straight to begin lap 5. As Milk pulls out from the rear wing of Sean, who runs very deep. Milk threw him the dummy. Sean completely took it and now falls down to 5th place. That was a big lockup for Sean at the end of the back straight, and TMS Milk through into 3rd place then. It's Sander that is leading here in Miami. MCL right on the back of him. It's 1.3 seconds back to TMS Milk. And I'm sure MCL is doing all of the OGs of WRC very, very proud as he currently runs in 2nd. Lily saying she's heard some of these names before. You most certainly have. MCL, you've got Milk, you've got Blake, you've got Kian, who are all well-known names in WRC. Sean gets back through on Gerv and up into 4th place and is now right behind TMS Milk once more. As we've got a yellow flag and MUFC Harvey is out of the Grand Prix, and I think that is an on-track crash. And it is an on-track crash for Harvey. You can see him on the outside line. Again, no safety car deployed in this race. Lily saying, didn't you used to race with Milk? I did a few months ago. Me and Milk had a good few battles. He was admittedly normally quite quicker than I was. And MCL right on the back of Sander. MCL, I must say, I did have the privilege of fighting for a championship in the Thursdays division, the realistic performance division. So I can tell you firsthand how good of a driver MCL is. He's so incredibly consistent, lap after lap, race after race. And MCL definitely is going to be putting some pressure on Sander here as we go towards the first straight on this racetrack. And the Mercedes is in the slipstream of the Red Bull. MCL has not raced for a while in WRC, but has made his return recently and is now going to return to the top of the timesheets. MCL leads the Miami Grand Prix, and WRC fans around the world will be screaming because our OG is finally showing the new guys that you cannot just come in and spoil the party. Jono is now out of the race and a safety car is deployed. Jono in the wall pretty much right where MUFC Harvey was. And that is perfect timing for MCL, who has just taken the lead of the Miami Grand Prix. The Mercedes driver is well and truly back. Has still got a long way to go to win this race as MCL and Sander come into the pit lane, as does Milk. Sean's going to join them. Gerv is going to join them. MCL has got a long way to win this Grand Prix, but is looking very good to do so here today. Looks like we've got everyone coming into the pit lane. I believe Kian has stayed out. Kian has stayed out. And Kian going to really move up the order here. He's going to come out, or filter out, sorry, should I say, in about 6th place is the McLaren driver, having not pitted after starting on the hard compound tyres. So it's MCL that leads the Miami Grand Prix. And you can probably hear the excitement in my voice. I'm very happy for MCL to be leading a race here in WRC. And just a few days, well, 2 days, we rebrand on Monday. Just a few days before we rebrand to MOR, it would be fitting that MCL wins one final race. It's definitely not done yet. Milk is in this race. Sean is in this race. And they will be looking to scrap away as well. But it would be very, very fitting if one of the OG WRC World Champions, I think he's the double World Champion actually, MCL. It would be very fitting if he were to win one final Grand Prix. It's the Mercedes driver of MCL that leads this race. Sander is in second. Milk is third with Sean in fourth place. Gerv is in fifth. Key in sixth with Luke in seventh. CB recovering to eighth after being dead last out of turn one. Blake runs in ninth with Apik in 10th. We've got Fabian in 11th. Twitch Brands is 12th with Spadang in 13th place. Tilly 14th with Tomo in 15th. Longneck 16th. D Ghost in 17th. And it's Stu who is in 18th place. Someone asking to be re-invited. What is your EA name? I will get you back in. We've got 161 viewers in the TikTok. If you are new to WRC, make sure you are following down below. We're looking to try and hit 3,500 followers today. And this racing action, absolutely brilliant here in Miami. One of 3 American races. And if you are interested in our racing, we are racing and we are live on this TikTok 6 times a day, 7 days a week. So definitely following will not be a bad choice, I can tell you that much. Ethan asking how does the league work? It's quite literally the same as any other Formula 1 F1 league. Spadang needs an invite back. Let's get Spadang back in the lobby before the safety car restart then. Where is he on the friends list? There he is. Paddy saying, how often do you race when it's not 6 times a day? It's always 6 times a day. If not, it's 5 times a day. We're racing so often in WRC. It is either 5 or 6 times a day. Weekends is 6 times a day. 5 times a day on weekdays. Spadang has rejoined then. I would imagine the safety car is going to be in on this lap. MCL is your leader. Sander in second place. Safety car going to be called very late here if it isn't coming in. Or if it is coming in, sorry. But it looks like it might be staying out for another lap. And it is staying out for another lap then. So we go for one more tour around the Miami International Autodrome with Bernd Mailander as the leader. Welcome in, everybody. If you are just joining us, my name is Jack. I'm your commentator, bringing you the action here in WRC. We're on lap 9 of 29 of the Miami Grand Prix, and it's MCL that leads the way. Sander in second. We're under the safety car after Jono crashed into the wall, quite weirdly, at the exact same place that Harvey did the lap beforehand. So maybe a little bit of a conspiracy going on for you there. But MCL, one of the old gens. Sander, one of the new gens. What is going to come out on top here in Miami? We will have 20 laps of racing when the safety car comes in. Andre saying, hello, I had a problem with the survey about the WRC Championship Season 5. Where can I get help? If you go to the general chat in the Discord, and ask Ollie or Mikey. I'm sure they will be happy to assist you, my friend. KHR saying I'm not ready for Monaco at 10 p.m. Monaco in about an hour and 10 minutes time coming up for you as the final race of the day. And that is going to be a spectacle and a half, I can assure you that. Safety car, most certainly then, will be in on this lap. We'll go on board with MCL to see if we can see the safety car lights ahead of us. They have gone out and the safety car is in then. MCL now becomes the de facto pace car. Andrew saying thank you, but in which channel? The general chat, my friend. Is MCL then, when does he decide to go? When does he decide to restart this Miami Grand Prix? He is slowing everyone down massively. Has led many a safety car restart in his time. And I'm sure does not mind doing one more as MCL then gets the power down. And we can go racing once more in Miami. MCL is your leader. Sander in second place. TMS Milk runs in third and has gone a little bit deep into turn one there. Sean in fourth place. Gerv in fifth. It's Luke in sixth who's just got past Kian. Kian still looking to try and fight away. But unfortunately for him, it's going to fall away from him as CB also looks to try and take the position. Is into the very fast left-hander we go. CB does move up into seventh place. Out in front, Sander is gaining on MCL. He's using the battery. Red Bull versus Mercedes. We've seen this fight many a time in F1. We've seen this script before. As he is using a little bit more battery, and Sander is going to go for it immediately then. MCL to the outside line. Sander to the inside. And Sander retakes the lead of the Miami Grand Prix. Luke saying I would be 10 seconds ahead after 10 laps. Join us then, Luke. Prove it. As Sander leads in Miami then. MCL gonna look to try and fight this back again. Milk in third place, looking to try and challenge away. Sean in fourth place. Gerv is fifth as MCL ducks out of the slipstream, looking to try and sell Sandler the dummy. But it isn't gonna work that way for him. MCL still challenging Sander as we move on then to lap 11 of this Grand Prix. Sander with the fastest lap of the race. MCL in second. The Mercedes man trying, willing, giving everything to try and win this race. Milk in behind as well. One of WRC's OG quickest drivers. Has won many a race in WRC. And Milk, maybe he wants to seal one more victory. Luke asking how many divisions are in this league. We race 6 times a day, 7 days a week, Luke. Get yourself involved, my friend. Prove that you're that quick. I doubt it. AERT Sander in the lead then. MCL in second place. TMS Milk in third. Is it clean racing, load of penalties? It is very clean racing, I can assure you that, my friend. As Milk is gaining on MCL. MCL is gaining on Sander. As towards the final corner we go then. The hairpin at the end of the back straight. MCL is gaining. Once again dives out of the slipstream. But isn't close enough to the Red Bull to try and make his way past. As we're about to start lap 12 then. Sean is right on the back of Milk. Gerv on the back of Sean. MCL with the fastest lap of the race. That's then immediately annexed by Gerv. What time zone is it? BST. It is UK time. British Standard Time. We race at 10 a.m, 12 p.m, midday, 2 p.m, 4 p.m, 6 p.m, 8 p.m, and 10 p.m. I would love to see you be 10 seconds ahead in 10 laps of any of these drivers. I would love to see it. Sounds good, Luke. Look forward to seeing you there. Hopefully, I'll be commentating one of your races, my friend. I do look forward to it. MCL is gaining then on Sander towards the next left-hander. He used all his battery, but it worked for him. MCL retakes the lead of the Miami Grand Prix. A lovely move round the outside. Later on the brakes, and MCL giving it everything to get back into the lead. He will now start the drag towards the hairpin. The Red Bull in the slipstream is gaining. Will MCL defend the inside? He's going to leave the inside untouched. Sander doesn't want to go for the move though. Luke saying no assist. You can use whatever assist you want besides steering assist, braking assist, or any of the pit or straight mode assists, my friend. Traction control and ABS and all that, you're more than welcome to use. Parc Ferme is on as well, of course. MCL continues to lead them. We've got a car off, and that's Stu, who has gone very, very deep and has picked up some front wing damage in the Aston Martin. We are still watching Sander versus MCL in the battle for the lead of the Miami Grand Prix. Brands picks up a 3-second time penalty. What's the quali, full or short? It's short qualifying, my friend. As MCL has run out of battery, and here comes Sander then to the inside line. And that is easy as a move as you're ever going to see. Look at TMS Milk as well on the inside line. MCL falls down to 3rd place. It's Sander that retakes the lead then. Milk into 2nd. MCL down to 3rd with Sean in 4th. MCL ran out of battery. Milk and Sander swallowed him up. Lap 13 of 29. We're getting closer to lap 14 now then. It's Sander that leads the Miami Grand Prix. Milk in 2nd place with MCL in 3rd. Sean is all over the back of the Mercedes-Benz as towards turn 1 we go. Milk now looking to try and challenge Sander. The Ferrari versus the Red Bull. 3 of Formula One's most iconic teams at the front. Red Bull, Ferrari and Mercedes. In the past, what is it, about 15, 20 years, these 3 teams have shown their dominance. The era of Mercedes, the era of Ferrari, and the era of Red Bull has all been and gone. It's currently the era of Mercedes once again. But in WRC, anybody can win. What's everyone's time trial pace? Top 5% at least. I would say most people, well, a fair amount of people are around that. The likes of Sander, Milk, MCL, Sean, Solar, BP Ace. I would say in the top 5%, definitely. Sander continuing to lead then. Milk in 2nd place. Further down the pack, we've got Tilly making a move on Kean. Kean getting that position back again. Those two having a proper scrap away as Longneck gets involved as well. Luke saying, is this Div 1? This is a social race, my friend. This isn't a championship. As Sander trying to defend from Milk as there's contact. The Red Bull and the Ferrari both go round. Sander and Milk make contact. Sander made contact with the wall. I don't know if there's damage to the front wing of the Red Bull. It doesn't look like it. Milk in behind him. They both pirouetted round. And the Ferrari and Red Bull now sent down to 4th and 5th. It is MCL that once again leads in Miami. Mercedes on top. Sean in 2nd, but with a 3-second time penalty. Gerv is now 3rd. Sander and Milk still going to look to try and fight away here. Milk had taken the lead. Sander tried to fight back. And there was big contact between them. The pair of them spinning round. Ferrari of Milk down to 5th. Sander in his Red Bull down to 4th. And it leaves MCL, in the lead of this Grand Prix. MCL versus Sean then in the battle for victory. We are expecting a two-stop race as I believe that's Stu. Yes, that is Stu, who's gone very, very deep. As Gerv has also had a moment, I believe, as Sander is now up to third, Milk up to fourth. CB and Gerv fighting away. I do think we are expecting a two-stop race here today. So I wouldn't be surprised if the likes of MCL and Sean are back into the pit lane as Stu retires from the session in the pit lane. It's MCL that stays out at the moment and is still leading here. TMS Milk now picks up a 3-second time penalty. Ollie's saying, is that the amazing JP? It most certainly is. AHR saying, why are you not commentating the 10 PM race, JP? Honestly, just commentated too much, my friend, today. The voice needs a little bit of a break. Luke saying, do you know WRR? I mean, I've heard of it. I've never driven in it or commentated it or anything, but I have heard of WRR before. World Online Racing or something like that, I think it's called, if I'm not mistaken. MCL and Sean still battling out in front. We're on lap 16. It looks like both drivers are being called into the pit lane by the MFD, the little blue icons at the bottom of your screen next to what gear they're in. MCL wide out of the final corner. Is he coming into the pit lane? No, he's not. Neither is Sean. Neither is Sander. Neither is Milk. As Sean, I believe, is disconnected. Have we got anyone that can re-invite Sean back into the lobby? Sean is disconnected, and this is going to leave MCL massively in the lead of this race. Sander overtakes him and gets him into second. TMS Milk overtakes him and gets into third. Sean out of this race, unless he can get back into it, out in front. The gap 3 seconds between MCL and Sander. The gap is falling. But MCL really in top shape to try and take this victory. Is there anything that can stop the Mercedes man tonight? Yellow flags out in this race. It looks like Tilly may have had a moment. Hasn't picked up any damage, but the Cadillac driver down in 15th place. The gap between MCL and Sander is falling. 2.6 seconds. The gap is now. Will we see anyone into the pit lane on this lap? It does not look like it. Luke saying, can you check warnings? I would, but then we've got to stop watching the racing action, to be completely honest. And I do not want to stop because we have got wheel-to-wheel action absolutely everywhere. CB gets through on Sean's AI, as does Blake. I can show you the penalties. And we have currently got 3 seconds for a fair amount of people. 13 seconds for D Ghost. 9 seconds for TTV Kian. As Sander now picks up a penalty and might have had a moment somewhere because Milk is now 1.2 seconds ahead of him. Sander, somewhere in the first part of the lap, has had some sort of issue as Tilly now picks up a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So it's MCL out in front then by 3 seconds to TMS Milk. Sander in third place. And this race continues on. Incredible battling here in the Miami Grand Prix. MCL stays out. Milk stays out. Sander is going to be the first of the big three to come into the pit lane then. And how crucial is this going to be? The undercut in Miami. Milk is still gaining fraction by fraction on MCL. The gap, 2.6 seconds. As the Ferrari sets after the Mercedes. Sander out in 7th place ahead of Fabian in some clean air. So a good time to pit for Sander as Kian now picks up a 10-second penalty and retires from the race in the pit lane. We've had a yellow flag somewhere. That is for a pick, who has had a moment in the first sector as Kian leaves the session. Spadang, Longneck and D Ghost all into the pit lane as well then. Surely we will see MCL into the pit lane. Kian has to go and sort something out. No problem, Kian. It's Pentaray saying, here's a kiss for you, JP. Much appreciated, much appreciated. 10 laps left then in this race. MCL versus Milk versus Sander. MCL stays out. Milk dives into the pit lane. And is MCL maybe trying to go to the end of this race on those tyres? The gap to leader for Sander is 20 seconds. He would have to gain about 2 seconds a lap. Sean saying, JP, what's your EA? It's my TikTok name, Jack Patient Comms, my friend. I'll send a message in the chat. And we will invite you back to the lobby. I wonder if MCL is maybe trying to stay out in this race. MCL, as I have said before, is a man that I have raced before for World Championships. And I know that MCL is very quick. What I also know about MCL, as we just try and get... Can't see you on, my friends. There you are, Sean. Get you back in. But one thing I do know about MCL, if it isn't that he's very quick, is that he is very, very good at saving and preserving tyres. Could MCL be staying out in this race? No, is the answer to that question. As he comes in, nearly puts it in the wall. Coming into the pit lane. Gerv stays out and takes the lead then. Milk, coming round the final corner, is surely going to have undercut MCL here. I can't see how he wouldn't have. As Milk comes towards turn 1 then, and yes, Milk and Sander have both undercut MCL. MCL on the mediums, Sander on the hards, Milk on the mediums. But MCL has now got to do it on track. If you are looking to join the league, I will send a link to our website in the chat. Make sure you join up, moresports.com. LM4 saying, I've been asking for so long, what's your YouTube channel? Are you on about my personal YouTube channel or the league's YouTube channel? As MCL is gaining towards the rear end. Not able to make his way through. Cam saying, what are the requirements to race? All you got to do is join the Discord, my friend, and register your interest. MCL on the mediums is really going to want to try and get ahead of Sander as quickly as possible. To then start battling with Milk. Although saying that, Milk and Sander do both have penalties. So MCL could be quite content just sitting behind. Gerv looks like he's going to stay out. There's no indicator that he's going to come into the pit lane. And of course, as I say that, he comes into the pit lane, so I look stupid. He gets a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane as well and retires from the session. So we move on then to the dying embers of this race. It's TMS Milk that leads here in Miami. Sander in second with MCL in third. The big caveat though, if we look to the penalties screen, 3-second penalties for Sander and for Milk. And that is ultimately going to be costing them here tonight. Ferrari versus Red Bull versus Mercedes. It's 5.3 seconds back to CB in this race. MCL burning the battery, trying to get through on the Red Bull. Not close enough. Sander not close to Milk either. Or not close enough, should I say. He most certainly is close. As we make our way towards the back straight then. Can Sander try and gain on Milk? Can MCL try and gain on Sander as Blake is out of the race? And is that an on-track crash for Blake? I don't think we're going to be able to see in time. As Spadang and Fabian battle away, we aren't going to be able to see in time. Spadang gets ahead of Fabian and up into 6th as Blake is out. Lewis asking, where's the main man, Solar? He is not racing in this race. I don't think he's racing at Monaco either, if I'm not mistaken. Jay saying, Jesus, that announcement about DNFs did nothing, then did it? Evidently not. It's TMS Milk that leads then. Sander in 2nd. Look at MCL trying to gain on the Red Bull. Is gaining towards the back of the Red Bull as he stopped using battery as well. MCL is gaining. Is he going to go down the inside? Definitely wanted to make the move, but not able to get the way through. MCL still sat in behind. Only has a few laps to go though. Just cannot get a 3-second penalty. Dan saying, show me Sean. He's currently in 11th place, running quite the lonely race. Edvin saying, how do this many people DNF? A lot of them just manually retire, to be honest. As Sander and Milk are fighting away then at the front. Milk versus Sander. MCL waiting in the wings if any chaos kicks off. As into turn 1 we go. It's Sander with the outside line. Milk on the inside. It now turns to the inside for Sander. There's contact between them. But Sander has forced his way through and into the lead of the Miami Grand Prix. Look at MCL on the outside line, forcing Milk out of position. As Milk looking for the position back again. We make our way to the first straight on the road. Sander in the lead. Milk chasing him. MCL chasing the pair of them. Towards the next left-hander we go. Sander ducks out of the slipstream. Milk down the inside. Sorry, MCL tried to play a bit of a game with Milk. Got a bit boxed in by Sander in the lead. And they continue on 1, 2, and 3 for the time being. Red Bull versus Ferrari versus Mercedes, the way it always should be. Weaving to break the toe is Sander down the back straight. He's going to stay in the lead for at least the time being. We move on then to lap 25. It's Sander in the lead from Milk in 2nd place. MCL is 3rd. This is the battle for the lead. Is Milk able to try and get through on Sander on this lap? Because this is a battle for position. Both of them have 3-second penalties. So this will decide who stands on the 2nd place of the podium. Milk is switching to the inside line. Down the inside he goes and takes the position from Sander. Moves back into the lead. As we've just hit 30,000 likes on the TikTok stream. Thank you very much to everyone who's been liking away. This race has been absolutely incredible. As down the back straight we go once more. Milk versus Sander versus MCL. MCL doing everything he needs to do to win this Grand Prix. It's the Ferrari man that will lead us over the line to begin lap 26. Sander in second place. MCL is third. This is the main battle in this race. 3 teams fighting for the top step. And at this moment, it looks like it's going the way of Mercedes and MCL. And I've said it a few times in WRC. We had all the OGs, and then we blew up on TikTok. And then so many new people joined. And it felt like that scene in Cars 3, where Jackson Storm overtakes Lightning McQueen. And Lightning McQueen is fading fast. And the new gen overtakes the old gen. MCL is one of the old gen. Sander is one of the new gen. And it feels like this race is the ending of Cars 3, where Cruz rescues it for Lightning. MCL is rescuing it for WRC. The old gen is going to emerge. Who's that off the track there? That's one of the Mercedes. I had a heart attack. I thought that was MCL. It was D Ghost that was in the barriers. As we begin lap 27 and Sander trying to take the lead back again from TMS Milk. Milk on the outside line is not able to defend. And Sander then retakes the lead of the Miami Grand Prix. Kiki saying the cards references class. Thank you very much, Kiki. And I don't know. I really just can see the comparison there. It's like Sander is Jackson Storm. MCL is Lightning McQueen. And at the end, McQueen's gonna win it. As much as I shouldn't be biased, I am a commentator and I'm as unbiased as I can be for everything. I have really been hoping, before we transform into MOR, that one of the true OGs of WRC would win one final race. And MCL, I think, at the moment, is going to make that dream come true. Sander is the leader of this Grand Prix. Milk in second place. MCL in third. We're about to move on to the penultimate lap of this race as Tomo picks up a 3-second time penalty. We're on lap 28 of 29. Sander in the lead. Milk chasing him down. Milk is losing a little bit of time though to Sander. As that's Milk that's rounding into the barriers. What happened to TMS Milk? That's going to leave MCL and Sander out to fight. Was there contact with MCL? I do not know. Milk has given up and is in the barriers and will fall to last place, surely, as he is now disqualified. The gap between MCL and Sander, 1.1 seconds. CB now moves on to the podium and is in third place. Incredible racing action here in WRC. As Sander is your leader. MCL in second. I don't think MCL's going to have the overtake boost for the final lap of the race, but I don't think it's going to matter. As into the hairpin we go for the penultimate time. It is Sander that leads MCL, but Sander with the penalty at this moment will not win it. We are on to the final lap of what has been an incredible Miami Grand Prix. CB running in third. Luke is fourth with Fabian in fifth place. But for MCL, this has got to feel so glorious. It has been so long since he's won a race in WRC. He needs to get a bit of battery back though, because he's 1.6 seconds behind. And he's going to lose a little bit of time down the straights. It's definitely not a foregone conclusion yet. But for MCL, he is giving it absolutely everything. Has not won a race for a good while in WRC. But the old gent is coming back. But the gap is growing. Sander is giving it everything to try and win this race and snatch it away from MCL. 2.3 seconds, 2.4 seconds between the two of them. But I don't think Sander is going to gain away enough. MCL is going to prove the WRC old gens right and finally get back to the top step of the podium. We go to MOR in less than 2 days, but MCL is going to win one final time for WRC. MCL, round the final corner, wins the Miami Grand Prix. And as much as I shouldn't be biased, I am so happy that that has happened. Sander finishes in second place. CB comes home for third. Luke finishes in fourth with Fabian in fifth place. Spadang will come home in sixth with Sean in seventh. A-Pick will come home in eighth with Longneck in ninth. Tilly will finish in 10th with Brands in 11th. D Ghost in 12th and Tomo in 13th place. Blake, Gerv, TTV Kian, Stu, Jono, MUFC Harvey, Ollie, BP Ace and Milk all failing to reach the flag. MCL does it for WRC. What a Miami Grand Prix we have just witnessed. Incredible action all the way at the front of the field. And for MCL, it is glory once more. Congratulations to MCL. I could not be happier for you. Sean saying he got a puncture at the final corner, and you can see that front right tyre very dilapidated. For MCL though, the day has finally come where he can taste the winner's champagne once again. What a race. Well, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in with me tonight. MCL does it for WRC. Sander finishes in second place. The gap between them at the end of the race, 0.3 of a second. CB finishes on the podium. My name's been Jack. I've been your commentator. A pleasure to bring you the action here tonight. I'm not 100% sure if there will be a stream for 10 p.m. If there is, I won't be with you. I'll be back with you at 10 a.m. tomorrow. So thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in with me today. It's been a long old day, but it has been a brilliant day. Thank you to everyone for sticking with us and for sticking with me, hanging out with me, watching some brilliant racing action. I will see you when I see you, but until then, take care, and as always, ta-da.